Many believe that to become the best, they first need to be successful, recognized, or achieve extraordinary results. They wait for life to prove them right, for others to validate them, for the world to confirm their worth before daring to act with confidence. And while they wait, they continue to live as if they were ordinary, limited by doubt and insecurity. The truth is simple and powerful. The secret to becoming the best is not in what you get, but in how you decide to act before you get it. Start moving, talking, thinking, and behaving as if you are already the strongest, most disciplined, and most powerful version of yourself. Your mind does not distinguish between what you pretend and what is real. What you repeat with conviction ends up becoming true. Acting like you are the best is not arrogance. It is faith in motion. It is a practical strategy that forces your subconscious to accept a new identity. Now imagine for a moment, how does the leader you admire walk? What posture do they adopt? How do they speak? What habits do they maintain? Adopt those answers and repeat them until they cease to be a role and become your nature. You don't have to wait for the crown to come from outside. Life grants it to those who already behave with the dignity of a king. Starting to act this way means deciding today, not tomorrow. Action comes before confidence. Every step, no matter how small, reinforces your inner belief and changes your perception of yourself. That sum of small daily actions, practiced consistently, ends up forging a new and resilient identity. That's why I invite you to take an honest look at yourself. How many opportunities did you miss because you waited to feel ready? How many times were you afraid of making a mistake and remained immobile? That habit of waiting bleeds your potential dry. On the other hand, if you choose to move forward even with doubts, your mind registers internal victories that accumulate and transform you. Start with micro-challenges. Each morning, choose a small action that takes you out of your comfort zone. Say hello to someone new. Express an opinion in a meeting, make a pending phone call. The goal is not the magnitude, but to prove to yourself that you can act even when you feel nervous. Each micro-challenge completed is a brick in the construction of your fortitude. Complement this with a simple physical practice. Adopt a power pose before any important situation. Open your shoulders, lift your chin, take a deep breath, and hold that posture for 2 minutes. Science has shown that changes in the body influence brain chemistry, reduce stress, and increase feelings of security. You don't need anyone to see you. Do it for yourself. By uniting action and body, your mind begins to accept a new narrative about who you are. Another essential practice is keeping an achievement journal. Every night, write down 3 things you did well, no matter how small. This record provides tangible evidence of progress and serves as an anchor for your self-esteem. When you reread these notes, you will see that you are making more progress than you thought. Also, train your voice. Reading inspiring texts aloud in front of a mirror for a few minutes strengthens your presence and helps you communicate with conviction. A firm voice not only convinces others, it convinces you. Surround yourself with people who raise your standards. Analyze your circle and prioritize those who encourage, challenge, and celebrate you. It's not about cutting off meaningless relationships, but about choosing wisely who you give your time and energy to. Confidence thrives in environments that foster growth. Add to this constant learning. Insecurity often stems from the feeling of not knowing enough. Commit to learning something new every week, a chapter, a lesson, practicing a skill. Every new piece of knowledge reinforces your competence and self-esteem. Add the practice of gratitude. When you wake up, say aloud 3 things you are grateful for. This simple habit focuses your mind on what is already working and reduces debilitating comparisons. Practicing these routines with discipline is what transforms intention into identity. Don't confuse motivation with method. Motivation comes and goes. Method sustains you when motivation is lacking. That's why you create systems, rituals, and routines that force you to act even when you don't feel inspired. Discipline is the force that builds character. When I talk about discipline, I don't mean meaningless rigidity, but rather designing habits that bring you closer to your goals. Tidying up your space, sticking to schedules, prioritizing your most important tasks. Start valuing your time as the finite resource that it is. Stop wasting it on excuses and distractions. Plan your day with blocks of focused work and protect those blocks as if they were irreplaceable appointments with your future. Every hour you invest with purpose produces exponential returns. Also, face fear for what it is, an indicator that you are growing. We all feel fear. The difference between those who move forward and those who freeze is the willingness to move despite fear. Keep a powerful technique in mind. When in doubt, ask yourself, what would the person I want to be do? And act accordingly. This daily exercise conditions your mind to respond from your desired identity. Also, understand the value of resilience. The path to excellence is full of failures and rejections. These are not signs of incompetence, but data for adjustment. The best use failure as feedback and move forward. Change the question, why is this happening to me, to what can I learn, and how does this help me adapt? And you will see how your perspective changes and your ability to respond strengthens. Now, I want you to visualize your future self in detail. How do you dress? How do you organize your day? Who do you surround yourself with? Do this visualization every morning for a few minutes and combine that image with a powerful affirmation. Simple phrases such as, I am capable, I act with discipline, I move forward every day. Repeated with conviction reprogram your subconscious. It's not magic, it's neuroplasticity. Your brain creates neural pathways based on repeated thoughts and actions. That's why deliberate repetition is your best ally. A practical exercise I recommend is the 3-minute ritual before starting important activities. Breathe, state your intention for the day in a clear sentence, visualize the result, and take a first concrete step. This small ritual changes your internal state and sets positive momentum in motion. At the same time, learn to manage your internal dialogue. If you find yourself constantly criticizing yourself, stop that pattern and replace it with I'm going to try, or this is an opportunity to learn. Self-compassion is not indulgence. It is emotional intelligence that allows you to sustain your efforts without wearing yourself out. Authentic confidence does not need comparisons. It is nourished by consistency between what you say and what you do. To consolidate this change, apply the 20-day rule. Choose 1 or 2 practices and sustain them every day for 20 days without interruption. Consistency creates automatisms that then become part of your identity.
Remember that greatness does not appear overnight, it is cultivated with habits that, day after day, adapt to invisible and powerful results. In addition, adopt a standard of excellence. When you decide that the minimum is no longer acceptable, you begin to raise your own bar. This means doing things right even when no one is watching. Your reputation is built on what you do in private. Maintain a work ethic that represents you. Consistency between words and actions builds trust in others and, more importantly, in yourself. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Those who perform at their best protect their time and energy. They learn to say no to what doesn't add value and yes to what brings them closer to their vision. This discipline frees you from mediocrity and allows you to focus your resources on what is essential. A key aspect that many underestimate is taking care of your body. Sleeping well, eating healthily, and exercising regularly are direct investments in your mental performance. A tired body breathes doubt, a well-cared for body sustains clarity and courage. That's why you should integrate self-care into your plan for excellence. Now listen to me carefully. The identity you desire is not built with vague promises, it is built with daily, repeated, courageous, and consistent actions. If you decide today to get up with purpose and take action even though you are afraid, your future will thank you. Don't look for shortcuts or instant results, look for systematic progress. Another transformative resource is surrounding yourself with role models. Observe those who have already achieved what you want, study their habits, emulate their routines, and adapt what works for you. Smart copying accelerates learning. But don't confuse imitation with a loss of authenticity. Adapt what you learn to your personality and context. Allow yourself moments of reflection each week. Set aside time to review your progress, adjust your plans, and celebrate small victories. This practice keeps you focused and prevents you from wasting energy on tactics that don't work. In adversity, keep a strategic mind. Ask, what can I control right now, and act on that. Controlling the controllable gives you back power and calm. Be generous with your energy, helping others strengthens you, connects you with purpose, and multiplies opportunities. Greatness is not selfish accumulation, it is influence that improves realities. When you act like the best, you inevitably attract more doors and external trust, others perceive your consistency and seek you out. Finally, understand that acting like the best is a daily choice that positions you for excellence. You don't need to wait for external validation, because a true validation comes from the internal consistency between your words, your actions, and your vision. Start today, choose a micro-challenge, adapt a power pose, write down 3 achievements at the end of the day, and share a small action with someone who supports you. Repeat this with discipline and you will see how your identity changes. Now, before I finish, let me challenge you to something specific. Comment on what the first action you will take today to start acting like the best version of yourself will be. Do it now, write it down, announce it, and commit to it publicly. That little bit of exposure increases the positive pressure and forces you to follow through. If this message added value to your life, support it, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs this boost today. Your support allows us to continue creating practical tools that transform minds and lives. Act now, build your identity day by day, and become a living proof that acting like the best is the surest way to become the best. Thank you for listening this far. Now go and demonstrate with actions what you decided to believe today.